Allah, God. We're worshiping God. We're thankful to God for what He's given us, because He's created us out of His mercy. So we need to give back a little bit from what He's given us. So listen to this. Allahumma inni as'aluka bi asma'ikal kareem wa ismikal kareem. What does that mean? I begin the name of God, whose name is generosity. O ever-living, O self-subsistent, I beseech you in your name, of which the heavens and the earth have lit up, and in your name, with the past and the coming generations have become upright. O He who has always been alive before the existence of all things, O He who shall live after the extinction of all things, O He who has been always alive even when there was nothing else alive, O He who revives the dead ones and causes the living ones to die, or ever living, there is no God save you. Look how beautiful that is. This is dua ahad. We're saying, okay, this is for the Imam, but this is telling us that we need to turn to Allah, to God, that we need to be good human beings. The first thing we need to do is be Muslims. You know, we're saying we're Muslims. What is a Muslim? It's submitting to God. Telling God, I am so appreciative. Look what you've given me. You've given me my mother, my father, my children. You've given me a house. When today, people don't even have homes. And they're being bombed, and they're being butchered, and they're being killed for not having maybe the right name, or being born in the right address. They're being killed for nothing. I mean, look at Gaza today. We're living in a world that the world looks on when children are being butchered. Some people say, well, don't talk against this. Well, if it's injustice in the world, I'm going to say it. And if you don't like it, that's your problem. But I'm going to say it. If there is anywhere in the world, apartheid in South Africa, it was because the world stood up and said, this is wrong. Some people say, well, Nelson Mandela is not a Muslim, but he acts better than a Muslim. And to me, that's what a Muslim is. A person who cares for humanity and obeys God. That's what a Muslim is. Anyway, one big problem, and some of you have come to the camp, I always discuss this, is we've beginning to worship an idol in the 21st century. And this has been going on for a while. And if you read the books of the New Earth, it's about the ego. What is that about? We're worshiping ourselves. Again, I said we're worshiping me, myself, and I. And it's become the new God. Some people say we worship the dollar bill, and in gold we trust, that in God. No, we're worshiping ourselves. And Allah says in the Quran, God has not assigned to any man two hearts within his chest. What does that mean? You cannot love Allah and you love an idol at the same time. You can't. You have to have a focus, and that's God. When you have Allah as your focus, everything else becomes easy for you. When you're struggling and you're suffering and you don't find a job or you're in pain, you just turn to God and says, God, you see me suffering and I have total faith in you. I'm going to try my hardest. I'm not going to sit in the corner and pray all day. I'm going to try. But I have faith that you will never abandon me because you've given me this life as a mercy. Anyway, we as worshippers have to forget about the thousands of sufferings that we're going through, because when you look at someone who has less than you, you begin to appreciate something. We always look at, oh, look at that guy has a nice car, his Lamborghini. I don't know, maybe not in Canada. It's kind of, the roads are tough in Montreal. We had an interesting experience in this neighborhood with the cars. But okay, they have their Phantom. You know, I don't know if you guys know what that is. You're driving in your Phantom, nice. Well, a Phantom will feed a whole village for a year in some parts of the world. We're wasting money on excessiveness when we could be helping feed the hungry. I mean, we have to wake up already. What's going on with us? How many more billions of dollars are we going to have in the bank? Warren Buffett with his billions of dollars, he finally gave it away. Maybe for a tax reason. Maybe Bill Gates is doing the same thing, but at least they're doing something. We need to give our $1 away and we'll see the benefits. Anyway, once you do that and you have God as your focus and you begin to appreciate, now we need to be thankful. Now some of you from Toronto, we've talked about this already. But if we're not appreciative of what we have, we're ungrateful. And when you're ungrateful, this is what an unbeliever is. Because after everything you've been given and you're not thankful, this is the mistake we make. They say that's one of the signs of an unbeliever, is you just are not grateful for the blessings you have. It's not that you don't recognize God's existence. It's that you don't even acknowledge that all that we've been given. Look at a human body. Look at science. You cannot create another human body. How does life start? If we're a little bit closer to the sun, we'll all be burning. We never thank God for that. For the water we have, for all the things we have. So what do we do when we are appreciative? Now you have to give back. Charity. Some people, they give books and they translate books, and there's so much knowledge being hidden from the world. Some people are on the internet all day, post it for free, and let the world see the truth. There's some brothers, we talked about this, I don't know if you've seen these sites, shiasource.com. One youth put this together and said, look, let me show the world what the truth is. So we started talking in Toronto, and he says, you know, wouldn't it be great to be accessing news from all over the world? We don't know where to go and where the truth is. It's hidden under lies. We have to decipher this. One brother says, okay, I'm going to do this. And another brother, who's many years ago, he says, you know, I already have a domain name, Truth for All. So they're going to put together a news aggregator. Just doing little things. And you're in the computer, take 5 minutes off from playing your video game, do this little website, and come back. A little bit of work for God, and you'll see the whole world will benefit. If it wasn't for Facebook and Twitter and all these things, the revolutions wouldn't have happened. The people who are against the revolution, they're shocked. They say, how did this happen? What's going on over here? Well, the people who are the youth of Egypt, the youth of Tunisia, the youth of Bahrain today, the youth of Saudi Arabia, they're standing and says, I'm not going to take this anymore. It's just like Malcolm X in the 60s and Martin Luther King against civil rights. You know, they fought with their lives and they succeeded. We need to do that now. Just a little bit of words. I want to say something else. We should also have the ability to act. Why are we sitting on the couch, enjoying the video games and the movies, munching on popcorn, and we can't even get up for 1 minute and do something? If I'm walking down the road, one brother was telling me his sister was, hurt. Some bystander, innocent bystander, came by and says, you know what? I'm going to stop this. And I don't care if I get hurt. The guy had a gun and he was hitting her. He said no. And they called the police and they were quickly able to act quick. They acted. If they didn't, maybe the sister would have been dead. That's fantastic. That's what standing up for truth is. Look at all these flotillas that came to Gaza. Who are they? They're people, even the Jews of Europe came to help feed the people of Gaza. Did I do that? No, I didn't. I haven't done a thing. And when I look at that, I say, there's a man who was like 84 years old, and they even stun-gunned him, and they hurt him. And he says, I don't care, I'll do this again, because I cannot live when I see children being abused, and I can't live when I see children being hurt. I need to stand up. When I see stories like that, I say, what am I doing? I need to do something. Now, I want to say something about the last days. A lot of the signs are there. We just don't open our eyes. Anybody's been to Iraq? Well, I think half your community is Iraqi, right? Okay. You've been to Najaf? Do you know there was a time Najaf and Kufa were separate? One of the signs of the last days is that they will be amalgamated, merged. They'll be one. Today you go, where's Kufa? You're in Kufa. Where's Najaf? You're in Najaf. It's one of the signs of the last days. The Prophet had mentioned, the Ahlul Bayt have told us. There's another one. In 2003, who can tell me, 2003 was, I think there was a terrible killing, and a pure soul died on the outside the walls of Kufa, along with 70 other men. Who can tell me who was that? Yes. Exactly, Sayyid Bakr Hakim. We were doing a camp for the youth in the summer that year, and we were talking about death. And someone knocks at the door and says, Sayyid Bakr Hakim just died. Everybody's shocked. We were like stunned because we're just talking about death, and it's just scary when you talk about that because we're going there very soon. If you look at the history books, it's one of the signs. A pure soul will be killed outside the walls of Kufa along with 70 men. How many men were with Bakr Hakim? 70. Coincidental. But that's telling us there's something going on here. The signs are there. There's more signs to come. There's going to be false prophets, false Mahdis. That's already happening. We already hear about that. All this is for us to wake up. Okay, I'm I'm a Muslim, I'm praying, I care for humanity, but I have a wife and kids and I need other responsibilities. Yeah, take care of your responsibilities first, but then begin to care for others. You know, give a helping hand to another human being, like the person who walked by and helped that sister who was being hurt. And the guy had a gun, but they stood up and said, no, we have to stop this man, otherwise he's going to kill her. That's to us telling us we need to do something. Because when the world is being attacked, we have to say something and do something. There is one sign that's amazing. Yes, there's a lot of signs that there'll be a lot of earthquakes. There's a lot of suffering and hunger. Which one?
The guys in girls switching.
Okay. We live in Canada, so I can say this, right? Brothers will dress like sisters and sisters dress like brothers. That's a good one. I know you like that one. Just don't dress in front of us. Put on your scarf. Okay. One sign which is amazing. I used to think about how could this be possible? The Prophet said there will be a voice in the sky and the whole world will hear. How could that happen? Radio, mobile phone, internet. I used to think about this sign in the 80s. I said, how could that be true? You hear a loud voice in the sky. Today we know it. It's microwaves. It's easy to understand this concept. But this was said many years ago. Even Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam talked about the shaitan on people's roofs. It would be called antenna. They didn't have a word of antenna back 1400 years ago. But he said this will be a big problem in the future. Well, there's another one that's kind of scary. There will be a fire in the sky. And it will be last for days. To me, and the scholars, when they heard that, that could easily be a nuclear accident or an explosion. And today we hear about Japan, they're so worried, easily the earthquake could have hit the nuclear plants and you could have had a big explosion. It can happen anytime. Are we ready? There's so many things happening. What am I going to do tomorrow if I'm dead? I'm going to wish